constant coefficients. So this is better, you write this is homogeneous ordinary differential equation with constant coefficients. So let us take this is d to the power n y by dx to the power n plus a1 d to the minus of 1 y by d to the minus of 1 is equal to of am y is capital X. So here capital X is a function of x. For example, you know that capital X is x to the power n, capital X is sin x, capital X is cos x, or capital X is sec x. It may be cosec x, it may be log x, whatever you can take. So capital X is always a function of x. So this differential equation has the order that is n, and the degree of this differential equation is 1. This differential equation is with constant coefficients if k1, k2 up to kn are constants. For example, k1, k2, k3 up to kn constants, you may take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. Okay? So these are called the constants. If k1, k2 up to kn these are variables, then and then this is a differential equation, ordinary differential equation having variable coefficients. This differential equation is called the ordinary differential equation because we are dealing with the ordinary derivatives. So that is d to the power n y by dx to the power n, or dy by dx. This is called the ordinary derivative, or this is called the total derivative. Okay. Now question is how to solve it. This is a question. So in order to solve it, you break it into two parts. First of all, you take d to the power n y by dx to the power n plus k1 d to the power n minus of 1y by dx to the power n minus of 1 of 2 your kn into y is equal to 0. Now you take, that is dy by dx is capital D. That is, you take d by dx is capital D. This is the operator form for this derivative, and let me write it in the d form, that is in the operator form. You can write this is d to the power n plus k1 d to the power n minus of 1 up to kn into y, this is y is equal to 0. So you take this is d to the power n plus k1 d to the power n minus of 1 of 2 your kn is equal to 0. This is called the auxiliary equation. This is called the auxiliary equation. Now in order to solve this type of differential equation, that is 1, I have taken the left hand derivative, that is left hand side is your 0. So first of all you take like this, and the solution of this left hand side is called the complementary function, and the solution of this right hand side, that is called the particular integral. So I can write like this. So this can be written as equation number 1 can be rewritten like this. A function of d operator on y is capital X. So in order to find it, the complementary function, you take your f of d is equal to, that is 0. So this is the auxiliary equation that I have taken. And after taking the auxiliary equation, you solve it. Suppose after solving, you are getting the values of these are like this, m1, m2 up to mn. These are the roots or the solutions of this auxiliary equation. Now let us come to case number 1. Let us take your case number 1. Now if m1 is not equal to m2 is not equal to mn, that means if the roots are unequal, if m1 then you get the complementary function, that is CF, is nothing but C1 e to the power m1x plus C2 e to the power m2x plus 2 your Cn e to the power mnx. If the roots are all equal, or if the roots like this m1 is not equal to m2 is not equal to mn, then you will get the complementary function is C1 e to the power m1x plus C2 e to the power m2x up to Cn e to the power mnx, where C1, C2 up to Cn, these are constants. These are any arbitrary constants. Now take your case number 2. Now if two roots are equal, m1 is equal to m2. If two roots are equal, the others are not equal, okay? Then you get the complementary function is C1 plus C2x into e to the power m1x plus C3 e to the power m3x. This will go on continuing up to Cn e to the power mnx. So this is the complementary function that you get if two roots are equal and the others are not equal. So this is the formula for finding the complementary function. Now let us think if the three roots are equal, m1 is equal to m2 is equal to m3, then you get the complementary function is C1 plus C2x plus C3x square e to the power m1x up to Cn e to the power
mnx.
Now in this way it will continue. If the ends are equal, if m1 is equal to m2 is equal to m3 is equal to mn. If the ends are equal, then you get the complementary function is C1 plus C2x plus C3x square plus this will go on continuing of the Cn x to the power n minus of 1 into e to the power m1x. So this is the formula for finding the complementary function if for this is equal roots. That is, two roots are equal, three roots are equal, in general n roots are equal. Come to case number 3. Let us take your case number 3. If the roots are complex, m1 is alpha plus I beta, and m2 is alpha minus of I beta. So, in theory of equations, that you might know that the complex roots always occurs in pair. One must be complex conjugate of the other. So, it never occurs in single way. So, it always occurs in double way. That is, one must be the complex conjugate of the other. So, if one is like this and m2 is like this, then you get the complementary function is your C1 cos of beta x plus C2 sin of your beta x into e to the power alpha x. Okay? In e to the power alpha x. E to the power alpha x into C1 cos of beta x plus C2 sin of beta x. These derivations are not in your syllabus, or in order to derive it, you may take help of this is Euler's formula. So by using m1 is equal to m2 in distinct roots case, you would take your m1 is this and m2 is this, and you will apply the Euler's formula here, you will obtain that the complementary function will be like this. E to the alpha x C1 cos of beta x plus C2 sin of beta x. Beta is the imaginary part, alpha is the real part, C1 and C2 these are all constants. So there are three ways. One is the equal roots, other is the unequal roots, other one is your that is complex roots. So in three cases by taking f of d is equal to 0, you are going to find out the complementary functions by dint of these three formulas. Now, I have taken, let us write this equation number 1 in the operator part. F of d operator y is equal to capital X. So, I can write the particular integral is capital X by f of d. Capital X that I told you that is always a function of x, and this is f of d is the function of d, that is d stands for the operator for this derivative. Now let us take your case number 1. Now if your capital X is e to the power x, then you will obtain the particular integral is your e to the power x by the function of d. Means to try to understand this, you have to substitute this is your and d is equal to a, and d is equal to, that is your e to the power x by function of d. Means you substitute d is equal to, that is a here. For example, if f of d is equal to, for example, d plus a, you substitute d is equal to a, so that you will get 2a. So provided by substituting this, f of a is not equal to 0. Okay. Now question arises, if f of d is equal to 0, if f of d or d is equal to a is equal to 0, then what will be? What will you get? Then the particular integral, you will obtain x into e to the power x by f of d, or d is equal to, that is your d is equal to a. Okay. So in general you will obtain like this. So the particular integral, the general formula is x to the power n e to the power x by f of d, or d is equal to a. What I want to say is, if your f of d is equal to, for example, if f of d, I am substituting d is equal to a is 0. For example, f of d, this is your f of a is not equal to 0, means you obtain e to the x into e to the power x by your, for example, this is, for example, you take, for example, e to the power x by d minus something. You take d minus something. You substitute d is equal to a, then you are getting the denominator is 0. So, you obtain the particular integral is x into e to the power x by, you take the derivative of the denominator with respect to d, that is important. That is, if you take the derivative of this with respect to d, means you get 1. For example, if it is d square minus a square, if it is d square minus a square, the derivative of the denominator with respect to d will be 2d. Then you substitute d is equal to a here, you will get 2d. So this means your f dash of d and d is equal to a. In general, x to the power n, e to the power x by m. This is your nth derivative of function of d, or d is equal to. This is the formula for finding the particular integral if x is equal to e to the power x. Okay. Now let us take your case number 2. Let us take your case number 2. Case number 2. If capital X is x to the power n, n is a constant, x is the variable, x square, x to the power 3, x to the power 100, like this. So variable to the power constant, if it will be in this form, then how to find out the particular integral? We will obtain the particular integral is x to the power n by function of d. So that means you do one thing, you take your f of d to this numerator of inverse operator x to the power n. Expand your f of d to the power minus of 1 by dv of this binomial theorem. Binomial theorem. So better you use this. So whenever you are going to apply this binomial theorem, try to apply this the simplest 1 plus x to the power minus 1 or 1 minus x to the power minus 1. It will be easy for you to compute this particular integral. And another key point will be if it is your x square, stop with d square. Or terminate the higher limit terms and stop with d square. And if it is x to the power pi, stop with d to the power pi, because sixth derivative of x to the power pi will be 0. So this is the formula for finding that is the particular integral capital X is your x to the power a, means variable to the power constant. Now question arises, if capital X will be in this form, for example a to the power x, then how to find out the particular integral in this case? My point is, a is the constant, x is the variable, means variable constant to the power variable. So you may write like this, e to the power x into ln. I can write like this. So e to the power ln into x. So you apply the first formula. So I can write, or you could take, that is the constant to the power variable, and try to write the constant to the power variable in the exponential form. After writing in the exponential form, you apply the first formula which I supplied. By the end of that, you can find out the particular integral. Okay? Now you come to your case number 3. Case number 3. If capital X is your sin x, or it may be your cos x, if it is sin x or cos x, I am going to supply one formula which is only holds good for sin x and cos x. But this formula which I am going to supply is not applicable for cosec x, sec x, tan x, cot x, and sin inverse x like that. So the particular integral I can write your sin of x by function of b. Now what is the technique? You do one thing. You substitute d square is equal to minus of a square. Provided after substituting d square is minus a square, the denominator should not be equal to 0. Suppose f of d is d square minus of a square. You will substitute d square is minus a square, you obtain minus 2a square. And if f of d is d square plus a square, then you will obtain 0. The formula is method equals to here. So how to find out? If provided f of minus of a square is not equal to. Now if by substituting d square is minus of a square, if f of minus of a square is equal to 0, then how to find out the particular integral in this case? The particular integral will be like this: x in a separate x into sin of x by take the derivative of this denominator, that is f of d, and d square is equal to minus of x square. For example, if it is your sin of x by d square plus a square, then by substituting d square is minus a square, you are getting the denominator is 0. So by the end of this, I can write x into sin of x by f dash of d means 2d. So how to substitute d square is minus a square? Better you do one thing. 1 by d of sin of x is nothing but, that is your minus of cos x by a. Okay? Or better you go, other way is you multiply d in the numerator and you divide it by the denominator, you get 2d square. That means d of sine of x by 2d square means minus 2a square. Derivative of sine of x is nothing but cos x into a. So again you are getting minus of 1 by 2a into sine of x. So this is the way. So generally I can write the formula is x to the power n into sine of x by fn of d at d square is minus of a square. This is the formula, in general formula for finding the particular integral if it is your sine of x. So like that, if it is cos x, you only change sine x. Instead of sine x, you take your cos x. Okay? So I can write like this. Okay? Now, let's take your case number 4. Case number 4. Now, if capital X is your x into e to the power x. X into e to the power
X.
Or it is the function of x into e to the power x. If it is your function of x into e to the power x, then want to find out the particular integral e to the power x or e to the power x, or you take it outside x to the power n by f of b plus a. Instead of d, you substitute your d plus a. You separate your e to the power x, and this is your x to the power n by f of d plus a. Only you apply the formula which I have applied in case number 2 means you take your f of d plus a to the numerator, f of d plus a inverse into x to the power n. Okay, and expand it by dint of the binomial theorem. So this is your e to the power ax into x to the power m by, that is your function of d plus a. Means the technique is instead of d, you substitute your d plus a. So anyway, I supplied some formulas like this. So this is your to find out the particular integral. There are also other ways to find out the particular integral. I shall tell you in the last class. But the usage is, I have written that is f of d operator on y is capital X, and by taking the left hand side to 0, I got the complementary function. So by taking the right hand side x by f of d, we are computing particular integral by dint of some formulas. So you are getting the particular integral separately. So the complete solution, that is CS, is nothing but complementary function
Plus particular integral.
plus the particular integral. So if you are considering d to the power n y by dx to the power n, then the complementary function is definitely a function of x. And if it is your d to the power n y by d z to the power n, then you get the particular complementary function is y is a function of z not alpha. So you are getting the complementary function plus the particular integral is the complementary, that is the complex solution here. Now if the right hand side is 0, then you will get the particular integral is 0. Only the complex solution is nothing but the particular integral. Okay? So this is okay. I think